The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Darkeport. Episode 42, Reunions. Nilishly completes her tea with the elderly custodian of Aurelius's field, who asks her for help. A ghostly woman has been appearing in the dark of the moon among the new section of the hallowed field now used as graveyard. She fears that something terrible will happen if this continues for too much longer. Marcus spies his fallen comrade's wife, Jasmine, at the edge of the celebration he willed into being. Jasmine claims she knew Merrick wasn't coming home because he had visited her in a dream. She affirms her love for Marcus, yet tells him she doesn't want to see him again anytime soon. Lord Titus bounds out to meet the Clipper with his love, Lady Lucretia Vale. They share a moment of complete joy in one another's arms. Reality thunders in, however, in the form of a dark reunion. That of Titus with his twin sister Livia. At the very end of her abduction, Livia's assailant had attempted to kill her by thrusting her head into an urn of acid. Although prevented from finishing this grisly task, the lady is nevertheless horribly disfigured. Even in the face of personal agony, however, Livia beseeches Titus to carry her to a critical meeting with a faction of the Death Tamers who have recently come to Juramentum seeking shelter. On the Clipper that brought both ladies back to Juramentum ride several new chosen, one of them named Deverin. This young man later claims to be Wace's twin brother, attempting to embrace her while the now cautious advisor maintains her guard. Wace adopts a measured wait-and-see stance in regards to this new development, after an initial forceful moment of demanding deeper answers from the apparently happy-go-lucky Deverin. Marcus's son, Livius, faces a crisis of faith as his father reveals his allegiance resides no longer with Whalethon, Lord of Light, but with Tuea, Goddess of Justice. Livius also feels intense guilt for not rescuing Lady Livia sooner, as he was the first person below decks to free her during the battle on the city of Zahar's shores. He curses at his father for the first time in his short life, running off in agony. As dusk of this frenetic day approaches, Lady Vale prepares to address the entire city after telling Titus in no uncertain terms he must take full command of it immediately, as his grandsire is now deceased. Against this backdrop, Grip receives a surprise of a lifetime as he attempts to go to ground in the Kithki Arbor.
Welcome, faraway friends. You have found yourself once again with us here at Darkeport. Yay!
Yeah! Woo! Where did you go? Yeah!
Thank you so much. We have several shout-outs. Y'all are stealing a march on me here. I suppose that's appropriate, as I'll be embodying a victorious Vale. So we have... oh gosh, help me out. It's one of the Chaos Brothers.
Deviant Chaos?
Defiant, thank you.
Defiant?
Yes. DC, because I just have up in my damn notes. DC. Defiant Chaos, don't fall off your roof. Thank you so much. You are now a member under your own power, and we appreciate that.
Love it. Thank you. Appreciate
That's awesome. We also have a special someone who has also become a member under her own power. Who had donated to us. That you might know, Tobias.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Who's the first person you ever met? Ring any bells?
Yeah. That's a very good point, Tom.
Might be blood related.
Then we have
She's there on your birthday.
5 gifties from Grim Reaper. Yay!
Thank you, Grim.
Thank you, Grim.
Thank you.
And evidently, this is the 6-month membership anniversary for Havoc. So thank you.
Yeah.
That.
Thank you. Awesome.
We've only had it available for 5. We're doing it.
Got in there, right?
Got in there.
Got right there. So, a hearty shout out to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, Alex, Morgan, and the rest of the Chaos crew. Thank you so much for continuing to be on this journey with us. It means a lot. Your sage advice and your experience, we put it to use. We put it to good use, and hopefully you feel that you've received some of the same. We also have Eldritch Foundry
We did.
as our longtime provider of amazing minis, and they are getting a real workout now in the Curse of Strahd. I'm finally getting around to mucking about with some of the cool characters there and putting my own spin on them. So we'll see how that turns out. We have, of course, Miss Kate Glass over there with Briarwick, which we're going to be lighting here very soon. With she incredibly generously she went out of her way to make custom scents for us.
That's right.
And so we're going to be doing more. It makes all sense.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing more like that. We usually do bad dad jokes back and forth. Prior to stream, we didn't, so I deserve that.
Hey,
one.
it's Tuesday.
There wasn't enough time. So custom scent, amazing for both campaigns, and I really appreciate that. The whole candle thing has kind of taken on a life of its own. It's really funny.
It was like an afterthought. You're like, I guess that's where we'll start the story.
I just like candles, and I kind of use them in my rituals.
They're so great.
It's important. And then Corey, you want to say a bit about Shop of Many Things? I have a little visual aid here.
Lots of things. So, a few things on Shop of Many Things. One is we had a great time, and they'll be coming out just little skits of in-world action using one of their enigmas of riddles, essentially. And that'll be fun just to watch. And if you like riddles, then they have that out there. Obviously, we have the Sun Dice here, and that's a really cool thing. They got done with a Kickstarter, and they raised like $600 and some $1,000 of pre-purchased Sun Dice 2. Gnome?
You can get your own on the Shop of Many Things. Promo code Darkeport.
We are going to be doing a giveaway soon. And it's going to be around the first 100 of something. So we're giving 100 Magic Pen Elemental sets. $30 value. $3,000 worth of magic pens for the first 100 people. I will get back with details about what that competition or what that engagement's gonna look like.
Push-ups.
But that's gonna be awesome.
Push-ups.
And
Character.
finally, we have officially, about a week ago, but soft launched, but we have officially launched our TTRPG fantasy shop. And I'm working on getting that in TikTok and YouTube out there. We have only one item on YouTube right now, but the shop itself has all of them. And we have all sorts of things. I'd be love to have feedback from you guys on what you think is what you don't like.
What's that?
And
Seriously, just jump on Discord, and there's a whole discussion that's going on right now.
Exactly.
Corey, you've been really responsive with that and taking the lead on that, so thank you.
And with that, by the way, those who are members get a 50% discount every month for entire purchase. One time, 15%. So that's another perk that we've added now that we have some really cool in-lore stuff to showcase.
Which I just found out about today.
Yeah.
So
if you're on the YouTube, you're already looking at something that
yes, indeed, Donnie. I'm just getting there. I'm champing at the bit over here. So. God, what was it? A year and a half ago now. We made this prototype for the little Darkeport bath. This is battered. This has been through a lot. This goes with me everywhere, and I use this to carry this stuff around.
Speaks miles for the zipper quality.
Right.
These things are always the first to go.
And so there should be actually like a picture of it right below the screen.
And that map is out there, guys. I know people are asking for that map, and both a flag style and a normal just poster board style. So if you want a map to follow along, then here you go. And we are in Juramentum right now.
We are in Juramentum right now. That's true.
So nice to be back. You want a map of the island? Go fuck.
Challenge accepted. All right.
Titus was here.
Titus.
Merrick was buried here.
Never coming back.
WUZ.
Yeah.
Right.
Treasure here.
Yeah, Browse.
And Havoc just donated $5 to us.
Oh, thank you, Havoc.
Appreciate that. All right, y'all. Yeah, there's nothing going on at all this episode.
Not all. I think the Briarwood
I think we have a little candle to light, don't we?
A candle of Look at that.
You got it. You got it.
First attempt?
Oh, a bunch of haters.
Yeah.
Every single one of you.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Tatiana is quite ill today. She was really trying to rally and make it if at all possible, but it's just not. It's not going to be good for her well-being. So
Yeah.
that time of year.
She is at home, and it's lots of stuff going around right now. So anyway, we hold space for a speedy recovery, and I've been checking in with her today, and hopefully she will be back ready to terrorize the table next week. And we have a little journal entry.
Yes, we do.
We do.
Roll it. Roll it. I'm afraid. Great Lady Tawea, I am afraid. 2 assassination attempts, the maiming of my lady and dear friend, a political firestorm coming with days, the various creatures that we must eventually deal with like Capio, the Rashad, the Dragon, and probably the Children of the Crimson. Our plate is already brimming, and there is still more courses to come. We knew this path would be hard, and it is proving that fact with each twist and turn along the way. We knew, but none of us really understood how hard this actually was going to be until we got to the island and then got home. Please fill Livia with the strength to weather this and the emotional pain that is already setting in. Please give me the wisdom to approach this with compassion and strength. I fear that this could even easily overtake such a beautiful soul. But to you, Tawea, I vow that I will always be there to act as a shield in this darkest time in her life. On that note, thank you, Great Lady, for the gifts and wisdom that you have given us on this path, my family to keep me grounded, and to remember what it is we are fighting for. Concord in the hands of our greatest champion and Lord as our first line of offense against the gathering darkness, and the trust of our population to know that we fight for them with every last breath and so much more. I am afraid, Great Lady Tawea, but with you by our side, we have the strength to face anything.
Wow.
I will be done.
Love it.
Preach.
Preach it, baby.
Was there MVP last week? 2 weeks ago?
There was, 2 weeks ago. Titus, that would be you.
Hey!
You knew it. You softballed.
I did not at all.
Well done.
Yay!
Yeah, Rainy, that was a great journal, but that is the MVP.
Perhaps this is the start of an MVP for Marcus tonight. We'll see.
Just need 2 more.
Two more. Dos más. That was Elvish. Selfish.
A still forest rain, the pure waters of unknown seas. Home. That's what you smell as you come into the arbor. The rain continues on as though the gods weep for what's ahead of you, or perhaps for your adversaries. And there, with their nearly luminous face, so pale are they, with the rain coming down, looking up in another world, an expression achingly similar to your lost twins in her deepest moments of contemplation. Wearing white, with only a few pieces of jewelry, with some sort of writ unknown to you tattooed upon their small face. A quiet, lissom figure stands. A human, a person, a creature of bone and starlight. You see, and you shouldn't be able to see this, the rain washing away their tears as they look up. And in ecstasy, low, then a vibration, then beginning to move through your bones as you lay eyes on this being, begins to fill your body. And you've been confused, distracted before, but this time there's no mistaking it. For the third time in your life, your chosen essence quickens, and the mere sight of this person.
Well, all right then. Okay.
Welcome to level 4.
Okay.
Yeah!
Woo! I see you. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Twin. I'm sensing it.
These twins.
Breathe.
Lots of
You
twins.
see a shuddering breath. They wipe away their own tear, and they still seem utterly oblivious to you. You are alone here at this hour, under these conditions, in this place. You are absolutely alone. You may as well be in the middle of a great forest.
At the risk of interrupting the flow of this amazing narrative, just for clarity's sake, am I at the edge of the arbor? Have I made my way into the arbor?
You're in the heart.
You're in the heart of the arbor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I could see this person at a distance. I see the a luminescence from the distance that I felt compelled to approach.
They're tiny. They're
Tinier than I?
They're right about your height, and they probably weigh 50, 60 pounds less than you.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm within 30 feet,
Now,
more or less.
Now you are. They close their eyes, and there's just their throats completely vulnerable. Their skin, again, so otherworldly that you can see like these beautiful rivulets of blue veins running through them, which somehow seem right and perfect on their form.
And it is my estimation that this person has not been made aware of my presence, or at least is not openly acknowledging me.
No, bone white hair, Tobias.
I am going to start a circle. I'm going to do a lap around and take in every angle of what this person is.
You do so, the rain coming down on you, easily sluiced off by your draconic side, beginning to soak into your human side. Your footfalls soft, your gaze unwavering. And by degrees, and only toward the end, this pristine statue, there's the slightest furrow on their brow, a blinking. And then their eyes meet yours. And there's only been one other person that you've seen that kind of depth, and two, if you count the Warden of the Storm.
Yeah.
But it's the depth farther than you can swim. grays and blues and hints of crystal in there.
There's one gift, one of the many gifts of my twin, is being able to recognize that depth, and when you're outside of it, the thing that is much bigger and more profound than you can conceive of. So there is a little bit of humility that is just native in him because of that.
As you sit there and it's so direct,
Why do you cry?
Me? You can't see me. You can see me?
Well, I can see you.
And that stance is broken. They drop back, not exactly into combat ready, but you're aware of the limbering of limbs, and you have no doubt that there is some sort of will. You can almost smell it around them. You shouldn't be able to see me. You really shouldn't.
When it's just a very slow step forward.
They take a step back.
One more slow step forward. No real shift by posture. It's like a rock floating on water.
Who are you?
I was just about to ask you.
But I asked first.
My name is Grip.
No, it's not. I'm very hard to lie to.
I'm not lying.
No, but it's not the truth. I'm very good at seeing shades as well.
There can be more than one. A truth within a truth doesn't make it a lie.
I concede the first part. I rebut the second. But I sense... Who are you anyway? What are you?
You don't know me.
Oh, no, but I've read of your kind.
What have you read of my kind?
That they're violent and rapacious and greedy.
Another slow step forward. Another slow step forward.
You see their throat swallow. After you take 3 steps, they take one more back. You're about 20 feet now. And whatever magic, whatever act of intent was holding their hair pristine now is gone. And the bone white hair, which is actually looks like coalesced silver, the silver of the bright moon dancing around their crown, is now matted to their body.
Very slowly with my hand. Hold on, one sec. And just above her head, the water's going to start falling off. It's like an arcane umbrella, of course, of sorts, with the shape water.
Okay.
Very cool.
You feel something dance. You see the hint of gray and silver between their fingertips, and you can feel an abjuration spell about to block whatever it was that you threw.
What are you called? Or, I suppose a better question, what do you call yourself?
You see a slight red rise in their cheeks. Who are you to judge me? You have problems of your own. Just stay away. We're a Lokar. And their body turns into mist. Make a perception check.
She's 5 feet to the right.
Still see me? 14 minus 2 for 12.
Let me roll. Okay. There's a hint of motion. They're quick. And about 30 feet off to your right, you see someone disappear behind a bush. And the only reason that you caught that was because the mist was here, and then all of a sudden the mist was there behind the bush. I'm going to remind you, and I'm going to our faraway friends as well, who may not have watched every freaking episode, teleportation, Misty Step, all of that as such does not exist in Terra.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. So his sense of the impossible is much
has been expanded. No,
yes.
no. I appreciate that.
I do, and I also do appreciate that elucidation. Like that is an oddity within an oddity, but this entire situation, this could be a dream for all he's
You just leveled walking up on somebody. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, I'm going to dash toward that spot.
Okay.
Where I saw that. I'm just going to take off. I'm going to sprint. I'm going to leap.
Okay. So this creature of bone and starlight starts taking off and running. And you're weaving in between the bushes, the trees. There's a mad scramble under a little hollow. Make an athletics check.
Nice.
16.
Nice.
Okay. You're keeping right there, and you're actually starting to. God damn it, Toby! You're actually starting to gain some ground.
Where are you going? Wait.
And
that's awesome.
They, in desperation, they turn the corner of one of the nearest Kithki hut that they can get to. But you're gaining now. You're in full flight, so to speak. You tear around the corner. You start looking around. You don't immediately see them.
Come back! I'll scream to no one.
Okay.
So Kithki around and like, what's going on there?
Some shutters open.
What the hell's that?
Are you all right, lad?
Oh, it's the lizard boy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who I
Lizard wizard.
Yeah. No. It's like.
So I got a party.
Utini!
Yep.
Utini!
That's the end.
They're tinier now. They're tinier. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Lights, candles start getting lit. People start. There's a little. Utini! Okay.
Wow.
I'll make my way back to the arbor.
There is one down, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
They said they send out a little search party, and then there's a. Did you see them? Did you see the Utini?
Where'd they go? Oh. That's just my go-to.
Yeah.
With,
Okay. Make a tracking roll for Tamley.
Tamley preferred at your service. That is a 16.
Okay, good. So before the spiral's completely out of control,
I will no longer be playing tennis. And
someone.
The story got interesting.
Tamley the tracker looks down, and they realize that these are the feet, the weird, albeit a little weird, a little rough, but these are boys' feet. These are not Utini boots or Utini claws.
They're boys' feet, but they're webbed. Well, I'll go back to my study and figure this out.
I don't know if the feet
That's not a study thing. That's a oh fuck thing.
They're probably good at swimming. Pulls out a magnifying glass and pipe.
A quizzing stone at any rate.
Yes. No.
Okay. Who wants it next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Sure.
What are you doing, Devin?
I'm with Mohi, right? And
Yes.
You guys were just leaving Rutilius' chambers after discussing with, after being dismissed by your sister.
So
That's true. Okay.
Yep.
That's true. So,
I'm gonna attempt to actually. If I probably noticed how cheerful at least because there was a party being thrown with the Kithki. I said, "Why don't we go, brother? Why don't we go visit those small ones, the Kithki?"
perhaps we still have a torch or so before dusk. You said, and he asks around. Vale had told him some about the city, and he was curious. He says, at the center is supposed to be a place that you need. I see that you have gotten timid.
Timid.
You did not leap off of the ship with me, but clamber down. Come on, we are going to remedy that.
I did not want to show my powers off like you did.
Come on. He pulls at your, and then he starts jogging. Okay.
Do you seriously? Do you think Wesa is more like father or like you? He chuckles. He smiles.
The scales, they are swinging now.
You are more wiser than I am.
I am.
That's why I ask.
Ask me in the moon.
Very well.
Okay. And eventually you find your way to the darkened sparring pit. Mohi goes through and says, these people, they are both meticulous and organized. Look, ways to light this, a public good. As he goes through, sparks off, lighting each of the torches in turn. Not all of them, but enough that you can see the field well.
What do you think of the lizard man and on the ship, the man who casts flame? Like a djinn.
Aye. The Manabender. Powerful. Probably quickened 10, 11 times. And not...
Manabend?
Aye, and not impure. They're like will workers, but less disciplined. They use emotion instead of intellect. It just comes to... Kind of like how you've cheated at your will working. But he says that with the twinkle in his eye.
Keep the private, brother. My head could get lost for that.
Not here. And I don't think you're going to be leaving anytime soon, to be honest.
Well, if Wesa turns out to be like my father, I will ask, perhaps we should go see Mother. I've not seen her before. She's over there 4 days, no?
He looks west. Aye. Give it time. He comes to you and kind of some of the teasing older brother drops as he steps closer. Devrin, I know it's not what you were dreaming of or even hoping. But we must meet life on its own terms.
She seems so distant. I thought she would be welcoming to see her twin.
She is in tremendous pain. I do not know her tale to now, but I do know that she has experienced more loss, most likely, than either of us. Remember that in this world, absent other circumstances, it is always hard for women to make their way. Chosen or not. So, hands up. You're off balance. He drops
So
the bag.
he actually says something.
Sure.
I need to get this. I need to find out what this word is. Sorry. And I'm going to have a wooden dagger float towards me.
Okay.
And he's going to use, where's it at? It'll be Magnus.
Okay. And it floats on over from the rack.
Sorry, and it's only verbal, so. Oh, sorry, it's actually only somatic.
Check that, Corey. That's kind of important.
That's minor illusion. Never mind. You're right. It is Magnus, yeah.
Okay. Make a just give me a general roll as the two of you start going back and forth for some
Back and forth. Oh, that's a 16.
Okay. You're not doing well. You're not doing badly, but you can see him pulling. You can see him pulling his punches a time or two, until finally you offend him by not pirouetting quickly enough, and he easily sweeps your leg out from under you. You kind of catch yourself, but he knows you're going to do that, so he then continues on and has the throw within a throw, and lays you flat out on your back, but carefully.
Brother.
He kicks the dagger out of your hand. It goes up in the air. He snatches it out of the air. Now, your turn to defend, in case you're disarmed. Come on. So, you start. He catches you. If we were going to roll this out, maybe he gives you 2 or 3 points of subdual damage. So you're a little bit bruised, but...
And he's like one of the few people who can keep up with me, too. I mean, motion-wise as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually faster than you.
He's your older brother.
He is.
Okay.
And as this goes on, you have the sense that she's actually, yeah, because you've traveled with him now. So you know that Indra makes more noise deliberately so that she doesn't creep up on the two of you. And then Mohi stops mid-spin, mid-throw on you. So you're like hoisted up off of the ground.
Wearing like a backpack.
Yeah.
Oh, description below?
Master Starstep. And he lets you down. She says. She shakes her head. No, boys, continue. He just looks at her. It wouldn't be seemly. He kind of looks down at the ground.
I try to, like, I'm going to cause a noise behind him.
Okay.
And see if I can distract him.
Okay.
Cool.
Make a.
And that's just basically, that one. So.
That's a somatic. That's somatic only. Make a deception roll.
Ooh, a 17 plus my deception. Or sleight of hand. Which one do you want to use on that? That will be a 24.
Psychologically trying to trick him. I would say deception. He does that damn proto-Jedi thing, and even though you cast it perfectly back, he reaches out and he snags a pressure point on your neck. And you can kind of feel it. You know that if he drives it down, you're going to be on your knees. He doesn't, though. He just touches it. There's a little thrill of electricity.
It's Leonard Nimoy.
That's pretty good. Let's it go. And Indra looks at you and kind of
let's quickly pull out his cards.
nods at you. So you're determined to go with Shani and face the demon. I am, Master. Well,
should I come with you?
Both of them look at you. No, simultaneously.
No. You're the only one I know, brother, that I trust.
Devlin, you have work here now. Waisa needs you more than...
She seems like she wants to kill my head off.
And maybe she does.
You'll leave me here to these people?
You are my brother. We shared the same father, and I love you. And you made your decision when you left Sahar. We both know there's no going back. We're not even going to go back to Sahar, and I might well be going on some sort of suicide mission. It's not honorable to bring my little brother along with that.
I don't... He rubbed his head. I don't know anyone here.
Hello. Have you met you? You talk and talk and talk. Go make friends. Go see people.
I'm thrown off from what my twin sister's reaction. Not myself. Yeah, not myself. He slaps himself.
Okay.
All right. I can do this.
Indra pads over to you, and you've seen her be a ferocious fighter in the last day, like at the Bay, where she was just splitting heads open and moving at superhuman speeds in bursts.
Oh.
But instead, this time, she just lays a hand on your shoulder and looks at you. These are good people. When they thought me a slave, they treated me with honor and respect. You will find a place here, Devlin. I know it. Now come, my mistress is about to address the city.
How do I know her specifically, or do I?
She's Vale's
number 2
sword sister. Yeah.
How do I, Devron, know her?
Devron knows her from the
ship.
From the ship and from the battles and all of that.
Got it.
Yeah. Because you helped out. So she and Vale know that you will work, but they're obviously not going to pass that on. And she turns and starts walking back to the east wall. I think at one point I had said the west wall 2 episodes back or whatever, so all mentions of the walls were on the Kogi.
So on the Kogi side?
Yeah, on the Kogi side.
I really just feel.
Yeah. And Mohi looks at you and says, I suppose I should go, if nothing else, to find the Silver Lady. I told her that I'd need to see if she does indeed have business in the east.
Should I come with you?
For now, if you like.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys begin to filter in, and it's close. It's been long enough now that a good chunk of the city, what's left of it, is filtering over to the east, on the Sojourners shrine over here. Yeah. And around the brewery.
The brewery,
which has been pristine through this entire thing. I don't believe that Utini feet have ever been anywhere near there, actually. Okay, you had your little thing, your not so little thing. Marcus,
sure.
What are you up to?
Just partying, winding on down for the party.
Okay.
Moving with the group as they go. Spending time with Ava and family. Like, I want them kind of close to me at this point.
Without really saying very much about it, they all kind of know that you need them right now.
Yeah.
And they've clustered around you.
Keeping an eye out for Livia's.
Okay.
But I'm sure I'm not going to see him.
You're not seeing him.
Yeah, not even hiding her hair. And I'm just scanning the area, like kind of mentally plotting out the different conversations I need to have here soon. Like if I see Andros like in the distance just watching, like I'm looking for him, I'm looking for Gaius. I'm just looking for just about everybody that I can think of really that have any kind of emotional connection to me.
Since it's been so long, remind the audience who Andros and Gaius are.
Andros is the 10th Light Beacon who was sent here to replace Flavius when he ran in terror and fear after my first assassination attempt.
That's correct.
And then he's here to investigate me to see if I was a charlatan or if I was actually appointed by Quaelathon, which, as we might know,
you were a charlatan.
Are you a proud man? Yeah. you were a proudful man. That was it. Yeah. You a proudful man. Yeah.
Gaius, in that same assassination attempt, is the beacon of the 11th Lighters, and he basically tried to stop them and used his own body to.
And almost died.
Yeah, like seconds away from death, kind of thing. But he became part of the family pretty quickly on at that point. Always invited over.
That's true, because he's been having dinner with y'all off and on for this whole time.
You how to read.
And he did teach me how to read. He is teaching me how to read.
Yeah. There's been a bit of an interruption in the last 25 days or so.
He's a pretty good writer of the song.
Okay, so you drift over there. There's one moment where Alba looks at you because she knows, and she watches you watching the crowd, and you hear her there's like a brief sob, but with that remarkable resilience of her. That's inside of your wife and your soulmate. You can she has that talent ready that some people do of really meeting reality where it's at.
Yeah, I would assume that like as soon as I hear that or whatever, my hand just goes down there without even thinking about it. Just like claps as we walk on. There will be a conversation there too here very soon.
Absolutely.
Probably this evening after everybody's asleep.
Okay.
So.
Nalishli, you are still feeling pretty restless, pretty agitated. After that, you see this gathering of the city near the Sojourners shrine and near the brewery. Where are you going to position yourself? Are you going to find Titus and be up on the wall with him? Do you want to be out in the crowd with Marcus, off on your own?
Where is this? Where is the meeting happening?
She's going to address the city from the wall, and it's basically like in this section, eerily enough, with the cemetery, with the interior cemetery, right on the other side of the creek.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably up with Titus and Wesa.
Okay.
Yeah, especially after coming through and dropping Jerem off, which is still adorable.
Okay, you come up on the wall. And just a few flickers before dusk, as the shadows finish their lengthening, the sun sets. Of course, you would think of it as Coatl, the Lord of the Dawn Star, tending creation over to the Night Mother, over to Tezcatli. Some of them think of it as Quaelathon resting for a while, and other things still. Lady Vale looks to you, says a lot, and you see she's pulled 10 people out, the 10 survivors. You see them in a semicircle underneath you, and the crowd is parted for them and let them through. 2 Kithki and 8 humans are all that's left of 300 men in Kithki who went out. I know you don't care, but I need to tell you, I formally apologize for usurping your position in your auctoritas in your absence.
You're right that I don't care. Whatever apology you need, obviously. Thank you.
She leans closer to you. There is so much to tell you, Titus Metellus, and I yet have one item I need to tender into your grasp. I don't think this will be done for some time, though it takes most of the night. Will you wait for me?
Whatever you need, whenever you need it.
And consider, it is your decision to make, but consider closely the need to have a strong headship of the city soon. Tomorrow, the day after at the latest. And then you need to officially take the reins from your grandsire.
I know what I was born for. Thank you.
And in the most actually submissive way Vale has ever approached you, she bows her head, and you can feel her dignitas, which is a palpable thing now. She's, as you're about to find out, it's an aura. It recedes for a moment, and you just feel the woman next to you.
Her. And I wanted her to feel me of like, I know what I was born for is obviously like, I'm accepting that as if I'm giving my aura of dignitas in the same time that she's revealing hers to be gone. So it is that one moment of like the transition of that.
She turns to you, and that wonderful mind, which had been turned to warfare for so many moons exclusively, makes a keen political calculation. She reaches out, and for about 2 or 3 flickers, finds your hand, squeezes it, makes it very obvious, and then lets that fall and takes a half step to the right. People of Juramentum, I will not waste thy time. But there are several points upon which we must be absolutely clear. First, and most importantly, I will never have Titus Invictus's name slandered, nor his memory tarnished. To the very end, as the bodies piled up upon us in the scores and the hundreds, and in the fullness of the campaign in the thousands, he was never overcome. When he finally closed his eyes to go to after a lifetime of adversity and triumph to his final rest, it was age which took him, which is the master of all things under Quaelathon's creation, even chosen. Point the second. I have extended my personal dignitas as a daughter who can trace her lineage back to greatest Magnus. Upon this eastern walls and upon your shores, and the Utini know this. I have taken the head of their chief of chiefs in personal combat. This was made possible by several other remarkable individuals who cleared a pathway for me and allowed me to navigate them. It happened that way, though. And you see her, and for a moment it looks like she may be overcome by some memory or emotion, and she just breathes. Looks down at the 10 assembled. As long as I draw breath, they will never cross the Kogi, There are rogues amongst them who hate this. We will see. Stay vigilant. But as a strategic force, as a military, we have won. We have won! And there's a screaming, just a reverberation that goes on and on and on, and people. And then there's a call that starts up and then reverberates and catches on. Imperatrix! 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 And you see her grimace at that, and finally raises a hand, tamps it down. The crowd falls silent. I do not need to tell you who founded this city, this remarkable, impossible city, and now whose bloodline reposes in the magnificent form of its youngest scion. I will say this, at the risk of my own diminishment. When I came here, I expected to find one thing, and perhaps two and three. Instead, I found hundreds. When I came here, I thought the Kithki absurd. And now I know why you survived all of these long winters. It was not the humans. It was not the humans. Though they had the strength of children, they had the hearts of lions. If you will indulge me, Queritus, she says, using the old speak for citizenry. There are several that must be named. She looks at you. Sergeant Emilius, come forward. He steps forward. The embodiment of the dream. First among equals, you are amazing. It is for your lord to determine your future, but I know what your past is. And from a daughter of the old empire, who has her own chosen essence singing in her veins, I thank thee on behalf of the city that I fought for, and on behalf of the dream that I now begin to understand. Corporal Starlight, step forward. The slight form of Emilius' sometimes lover comes. You have proven yourself to everyone but yourself. Enough. Find rest, and I hope you find your peace. Tebby Dewshine, step forward. Kaushik Touchgem, step forward. And the two remaining Kithki do. Tebby, you had nothing, and yet you survived everything. And here you are, and thank you. And yes, if you ever come to Leptis Regium, you have my promise they will not make you a pet. And finally, my lord, I believe it's fair to say, no human truly understands the way in which the Magna Mater works or decides things. But you have in your midst now a new hero. The old power came to him at a critical moment, and he was formidable enough as it was. The Utini learned to fear him. Dawn's arrow died when we went out there, one of the best shot in the city, and now returns someone who's even more powerful. The arrow of the dusk. And then finally Salai starts crying, and he can't help himself, and Emilius, breaking discipline, goes to him and puts an arm around his shoulders. Thank you for your care and your attention and your endless patience for me. I am indebted to the city for dispelling my ignorance about the realms of the possible. I will stay here as long as it takes. I know that everyone here lost someone. I will tell you to the best of my limited ability what their stories were, and we will share them, and we will grieve if we must. And when the dawn comes, life has to begin again. If this were the old empire, I would say, Greatus Invictus, here and now. I leave to you, my lord, the final words of benediction. And she steps off of the center.
Yeah, approach up. For those who are here when I was not in defense of our city, you have my highest condolence. Allow me, as Lord of Juramentum, be the first.
And then he's going to take a knee.
To those who are not here, 497 gone.
It takes a little bit of time, but not much. And you feel everyone. And then you see them 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 10 by 10, kneeling.
Titus Invictus is no more. What a wonderful way to die, on the altar of freedom. For all of us. They say we were a dream.
As I stand up.
Rise.
Now we are awake!
Cheers. I'll enhance the cheers as well.
Okay.
Loud.
Everyone yells their defiance against the night, against the literal and metaphorical encroaching night. Concord blazes up, glorious even more than in Yulia's watch, fueled by the spiritual presence of the new Bellator Sanctus and the dream.
Put me on the spot like that. Golly. I knew it was coming. And I'll, afterwards turn, kiss Vale's hand. And raise hers,
And she is good as her word. I'm going to turn, perhaps briefly, perhaps not, to Nilishli as the crowd begins to wend its way out. Most of them stay. Vale drops down like a lioness, walks toward the people, and she is the patrician of the old empire. Snaps. Someone brings out a stool and then a larger stool, and she sits and she begins to tell the stories of each of the dead.
I love it.
And for those who care or want it, she breaks the rules, breaks the hard laws of the old empire, and writes for the common folk for them to keep in public. As this is going on, you eventually find your way off the wall, and Titus, you know that your twin had wanted you to take her. So you have business soon.
After that would have been his first order. And I'm sure Vale, in knowing eyes, knowing I'll cause a distraction. And that's the perfect, I love that.
And Nilishli, you feel a strong, calloused hand on the small of your back.
I'm gonna turn around.
Okay. It's Griff. He catches you up in a fierce embrace, unless you stop him.
No.
He holds you. You can feel him wherever he came from, whatever he was doing. It's Griff, so there's blood on him. And you see he's battered, he doesn't look pristine. But you can feel for one moment, for a few moments, you can feel the joy of this tortured man overcome his past and spill into you.
I'm gonna hug him tightly back. And with some tears, I think, in constriction in my throat. I thought you went east.
I did. And then I pulled my head out of my ass, Nilly. And he was like, his lips were right next to your ear when he said that. He lets a little bit of space. He looks at you. And then he turns, his features softens, and he kisses you deeply if you permit it.
Yeah.
Chat?
There's a ferocious heat. There's also an element of tenderness that did not exist before.
We missed you.
It's subtle, but it's there. And he parts just enough, still keeping each other, really, in your arms. I'm going to ask you something real selfish. I don't want to be parted from you.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Real life Vale's gonna die. Okay. Alright, keep going.
They're back. You're back. Thank whatever gods there are. And now I have to go east. And I have to fulfill my blood promise to my brother. Will you come with me?
She holds his gaze, takes a few steps back. I have to admit, when I learned that you went east and might not be coming back, I felt such a terrible hole in my heart. I've made friends and, dare I say, family here.
I know. That's why I said it's selfish.
What is your intention in the East?
To do the impossible. Outsmart the gravedigger. Find a way to bring Livia back. Nelly, I fucking found his remains.
Where?
On my last trip. Got it confirmed. They're waiting for me. Ally has him. It's possible now. It's fucking possible.
What are the rites that must be performed to have him returned?
Finding something of equal or greater value in exchange. And no, it's not going to be you, and it's not going to be anybody else. We'll figure a way out. There's got to be a loophole. There's always a way. If my flea-bitten life has taught me anything, girl, it's that there's always a way. Yeah?
So much more likable now.
She walks away, back away from him.
He watches you. You can still feel his presence, but he lets the moment breathe.
Answer me this.
Anything.
Why did you come back?
Because a certain tenacious, green-haired woman told me that if she could find love in Juramentum, it shouldn't be who was I to abandon mine. She used the word, not me. And I got further away and it felt wrong. Every moment, it felt more wrong. I've never had that happen to me before in my life when I've decided to set sail to travel. It's always been the right thing to move on to the next town, the next fight, the next possibility. I don't know, and Nilly, I don't know if he halfway turns himself, takes a, bless you, takes a pace or two back, looks back over. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old, or because maybe I'm finally getting a little wise. Being away from you is wrong. And as ridiculous as it sounds, when I really sat down and thought about it, you know, it kind of makes sense that I'd finally find my person, crafted by the hand of a fucking death goddess.
She turns back around, comes to face him, comes close. I have missed you.
I've missed you too.
When I was on that island, I felt like I was in a spiral. I was in a hole with nowhere to go, and I wondered what I had to come back to. Why I was even put here by Dreadmother herself. What higher meaning it must have. And the only thing I kept thinking of was your face.
He looks down as though humbled by your words.
If I went with you to the east, what could we do to make sure that my friends and my family here now are safe, protected?
I don't have a good answer for that. Shit's coming. That Darius fuckface down in Zahar, their leader, he's made a lot of enemies. Maybe as we go out the door, we could scoop up a fair few of them while they're still tending their wounds. Kick the door in, take his head, level the place. Be a nice send-off.
God, that's so fucking likable.
Just you and I?
A few more. I think the kid who knows the way of the fist, he's going to be coming with us. Mohi. Kid can scrap. We're supposed to meet up with his teacher, with his mentor. She is tough. You'd like her. Her name is Shani, means the little lion. She's a master of her craft. Probably about naturally better than me in her way. She's way chosen. She doesn't like Zahara either. But I don't think until now they pissed her off enough to go to war with it. A couple more crew. You'd be surprised how many chosen are coming out of the woodworks now, Nilly. It's a little crazy to be alone for so long, and now there's, 20 of us, 30 of us in the area? Crazy.
Why do you think that's happening?
Didn't Wasa say something about a gathering once? Or when Katrin was chewing me out over how dumb I was? Something about, I don't know, spiritual forces or crystal remembrances or whatever the fuck. Academic has not ever been my forte.
Nor mine.
I think you do all right. That's still troubling you, darling. And he looks at Winter's Harvest on your back.
No, we have reached somewhat of an understanding.
That's good to hear. He says, touching his
Yes!
If I were to go with you.
If you were to go.
I would hope that you would find it within yourself to calm your demons. To find a middle ground. Is that possible for you?
I'm willing to try. If you're by my side. And we have a purpose. We have an actual purpose. I'm willing to try.
And when we recover your brother, what then?
For the first time since I was a kid, Nelly, that would make me a free man.
How do you do as a free man?
I have no fucking idea. But I'm eager to find out. Are you?
She goes up to him, puts her hand on his cheek.
He closes his eyes.
Let's go to the east.
Let's go to the east.
She kisses him.
Girl, I'm blushing for you. This is so sweet. Oh, he's so much more likable now.
He's changed. He's a changed man.
A little bit. Oh my god.
Marcus, you see a profound interaction going on.
So good.
At a distance. You think for once Alba hasn't noticed as she's thinking about her agonized oldest son right now and is still looking for him.
Is she with me still, or is she on her arm?
No, she has your hand, and you realize that you are now Marcus of Two Rivers in a sense, because you will always be with your family, and you will always have those roots, and yet at the same time, perhaps you're a little bit surprised at yourself, but you're finding it harder and harder to not reconvene with your fellowship. It's not just the fellowship now, it's your fellowship.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the hand that I'm holding Alba's hand with. I'm going to point up at Griff and Deliciously. Kind of like, going on there. Okay.
Ups, is he doing?
I think he is.
Oh, is she doing what? Oh,
He's only 4.
oh my.
4, it's old.
That's the right sharp words for him when I saw him next.
You still do ups?
Nah, I don't think I do now.
That's good. That's real good.
Can I do during the Vale speech, there was something I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Situation.
Thank you, yes.
When Titus drew Concord, I'm actually cheering with everybody else, but I'm also scanning the crowd still.
Freddie
Got a little more suspicious. Okay.
Particularly for Andros, though.
Okay.
I want to see if he's in there to hear the proclamation, to see Concord, to see his reaction to it, if I can spot him in the crowd. And I am going to be using Truth Seeker, my cantrip, to get some deeper insight into him.
Please do. If you see him.
Yes.
Okay, so perception first as you take the lay of the crowd. The lay of the crowd.
18?
18 on the die?
14 on the die.
Okay, 18 total?
Yeah, 18.
Okay. I should stop asking you that. All right. You're looking around, and you don't see any obvious assassinations brewing.
I'm less concerned about that.
But were they ever obvious?
Nobody just staring daggers at me from like the far
Right.
side. Stuff like that.
Get you.
You see, you do see, because you're specifically looking at the crowd. This is interesting. You do see 2 camps. One of them young men who maybe were a little too young to become Myrmidon, but in this new era now might be. And the other camp are how do I want to describe this? Childbearing women, like women of childbearing age and up, who are also staring, and those 2 camps are really looking at Lady Vale. Go ahead and make the insight check. Okay. It is a rich to blow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's good too. That with 25.
Okay,
that's quite high.
With True Seeker.
Yeah, with True Seeker.
Yeah.
So you feel
the
the quiet presence of your goddess, the goddess of truth, at the end of the day. And there's a debate as to whether or not justice or truth weighs more heavily on her scale, but they're both integral. Where the roiling emotions inside of you including the fear, tamp down, or at least are allowed to flow differently and not in your brain. And you look over, the young men are easy. The young men are overawed by Titus, by who they think is now Titus Invictus of the second generation. They also look at Vale, and they're looking at a woman who is a figure from legend. And you hear the phrase, and because you had a 25 insight, I don't want to compound this with another roll. I'm just going to say that you know this story. You hear some of the men whispering, some of the older men whisper the phrase, the lioness rampant. The lioness rampant was the first wife of Greatest Magnus. And supposedly, even by their own text, was of the two of them actually slightly more skilled. She just wasn't chosen. And so there's now comparisons of Vale to the lioness rampant.
Got it. How old are the men? Like middle-aged kind
Those are more Myrmidon and retired Myrmidon. Gotcha. The little, very little that remains of the retirees, because they got worked over during the Utini raid. But that's beginning to percolate through. The women are much more of a mixed bag. You see, again, just huge relief and joy that they have a head of city and that they have a worthy head of city. Most of them, Randy, are not going to understand the significance of Concord, at least not yet, but they know that something profound has passed. At the same time, there are many stares of anger and a few older women who are probably grandmothers beyond past their childbearing years of hatred toward Vale. And out of 25, I'll tell you, it's having been the sole representative left of the quote-unquote old regime that made the decision to go out to confront the Utini. Their sons are never coming back. Their husbands are never coming back. Their brothers are never coming back. They're all dead.
Okay. Gonna have to do something about that here soon.
And it's not just humans. There are a few less, but there are a few Kithki women who feel that same way too. The Kithki tend to be a more understanding people, but even that has limits.
Are any of the women that I can detect this from part of the circle of women that were surrounding the Dushine?
Cora Dushine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll take note of who was part of that circle.
And then finally, as far as the women, oh gosh, I should have pulled this up. I will have to check and see if I made a continuity error. I believe her name was Constance. So the leader of the 12th Lighters.
Constance.
Now,
yes,
she is looking, and she understands what she just saw. And there is a war on her face right now. A genuine love for the city, a remembrance of Titus growing in his mercy as he encountered the 12th Lighters, and now also that she's looking at the acts of a pagan god. And then there's a little divine intervention. You feel a little pat. You look over, and you see Andros skulking at the edge of the crowd, barely visible behind a tree, or to the side of a tree, not actually hiding, but like beside a tree, just kind of discreetly position himself. And you see him turn. He doesn't spot you in the crowd. You see him turn, and he walks back, pretty stone-faced.
How was his reaction when the sword was drawn?
To the prime shrine.
As it was blazing in his hands.
You didn't quite catch that.
Okay.
It was a little bit too late.
Too fast, yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool sword.
Yeah.
It's distracting.
Yeah, it's just distracting.
Quite bright. Yeah.
I think it's time we talk.
Who's that, Ubbs?
Oh, that's Andros. Beacon Andros over there.
Oh. Why are we seeing the back of him?
I think, like...
You don't think Alba understands yet?
There is an ideological shift happening.
Ubbs.
Big word.
Big word, I know. A spiritual shift.
Not Elpin.
A spiritual shift.
a spiritual shift, we should talk quietly, alone, and I'll explain everything to you.
Of course.
I want you to understand, I have never, nor will I ever lie to you.
Why would you be saying that, Ups?
You'll understand soon. Come on.
All right.
Just means the looting.
I'm just going to off to our little tent, like our quiet tent.
All right.
And then if you just want to pass through for the remainder of the evening, this is what we're talking about.
I'm gonna get back to you. Okay. Titus, you gather Livia up. She urges you, even though it's a little dangerous, to just go with the two of you, or with the Fellowship. But she doesn't want.
I would have it be us.
No more deaths. Okay, so it's just going to be the two of you who go. All right.
Is she able to walk on her own, or it would be entirely carrying her?
She can walk for brief periods, but she is in horrible pain right now.
Okay. I would carry her that entire way, but obviously have that conversation with her and be like, let me know when you want to stand.
She just kind of wearily nods, and you can see even her breathing is... And as we wend our way toward the first intermission, Tobias, where does Little Grip find himself?
So I had wandered around the arbor for a while, went back to the spot where this apparition appeared. Not an apparition, but what might as well have been an apparition.
You feel this inchoate, unfathomable sense of loss and emptiness that you've never experienced before.
So then I'm just going to sit in that spot for a while.
Okay. And brood.
And try to process that, the rush of quintessence, the family dynamics, and this land that oddly feels like home. So I will just put my hands into the earth and start to connect to it, start to feel it.
There's a tiny bit of that, but I'm sorry, I wasn't entirely honest with you. I was an unreliable narrator as a GM, because the thing that smelled like the still forest after rain, the pure waters of unknown seas and home, was not the arbor.
Understood.
Ooh.
So even still, then just more absent-mindedly, then still as a way of grounding himself or trying to find some purchase in the tumults, will still just reach down to the ground in that mana way.
And feel this beautiful earth. Okay.
And as it seems that people are starting to gather, I think he would have heard the commotion. And
Sure.
he would have made his way, keeping as far back as he can, while still picking up on what is occurring. So I think you would have witnessed at least most of that.
Okay. And certainly the light.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing I'll say as we go to intermission is that you catch that scent, and it bids you west toward the gate.
That was like pie in the windowsill grip.
Yeah. Floating there.
I love it.
Well, friends, thank you for getting to this point with us on the journey. We hope you're having fun, and come back at the other end of intermission. See you in a bit.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And we're back, far away friends. Thank you so much. Apparently there have been some technical difficulties this go-round, so thank you for sticking it out. We appreciate that. We know that can be frustrating. We'll be posting the complete video because we have the local backup, and Justin will do his producer magic, so we will have a whole backup. But if you're watching this live, apologies. Defiant Chaos, thank you very much for a $10 donation.
DC, we're rocking it. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Just doing all kinds of stuff here, so we love that. And well, the candle, the candle's
been burning.
It was all canon. So there you go.
Everything's been going on. It's just
everything.
Yeah, Tatiana, why didn't you blow that out? I didn't get sleight of hand there, Grip.
Oh, I'm so
Pretty
sorry.
Candle the tail.
Yeah. It is a quick one. That took me a second. Leslie, I'm gonna follow your thread for a bit. as
I think we all want it.
As you and Griff, as you and Griff have not parted. And he looks to you as you're kind of walking, drifting off. He's a little bit silly right now, and he just lets himself. He kind of hurdles the creek, looks at you because he doesn't want to wait for one of the bridges, because people are milling about. Do you jump it?
Yeah.
Okay, easily. He has a sober moment though, as you all pass the graveyard. You pass the Vorn family crypt, and he says, I notice Wesa lit out of there quick. You need to talk with her, huh?
I do. She has some forgotten family in town.
What?
Her twin brother has reemerged.
Nilly, if you're going to start playing practical jokes on me, now's not the time.
I'm being sincere.
You always are. Okay. This place just doesn't stop, does it?
No.
You want me to come with?
I think it would be good for her to see you.
All right. You see a little bit of anxiety on his face, just a little. Make sure I have
reunions.
I asked Tatiana for words of wisdom with Wesa tonight. Okay, you're walking over there, and your earlier words come back to you and are proven. People know who you are here. People nod to you. Some of them smile. The children, instead of being afraid of you, come up to you until you make intimidation checks against them. And you make it to the keep. You see a few new faces on there, too young or too old to be proper Myrmidon. But now that Titus has ignited this hope again, this feeling of possibility, people are just volunteering and want to be involved, want to help, want to fill the gaps. And you think the city is battered? It is unbroken. Despite all the hell that has happened, these people still have fight in them. You let yourself into the courtyard, trace the familiar steps, and you're not surprised that Wesa is inside of the Seneschal's office. That's on the ground floor. More and more, she seems to be taking over this area. And if Rutilius doesn't hurry up, and if the elderly Rutilius doesn't hurry up and get back from his ambassadorial trip out to her home city, he may not have an office to come back to. The door's closed when you get there. Griff is with you.
Is she sitting down, or?
Well, you're still outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How do you want to approach?
I'm going to yell through. Is there a window open?
Yeah, you're going to just have to yell through.
Right. Wesa!
Nilly. Come in.
May I come in with a guest?
Always. I have complete faith in your judgment.
I walk through the door.
I don't know that I have complete faith in your judgment.
Yes. Wesa, friend.
Nilly, sword sister.
Griff has come back.
I can see that. Yeah, he has. And he bows, gives her a little half bow. Sit, please.
Take a seat.
Okay. Griff only sits down after you have. Stares at her. So, the tides brought you back. Yeah, they did. To her side. And will the tides carry you from her side? No. Not while I have breath in my body. Not unless she tells me to. I'm done with that. I see. This day becomes more and more involved. That's not why you came here, Nilishli. I can read it on your face. You never were very good at hiding your emotions.
This is true. I want to run something by you.
I'm here.
Ever since we've returned from the island, I have felt aimless, rudderless, in a world of my own. And I realized that although I have grown family and friends here, there's something else that calls me. I went to Aurelius Field. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yes, I went back to the place where I was born.
And how was that for you?
It brought up more questions than answers. And all I'm left now is wondering where my next fork in the path will be.
You see, struggles for a moment, swallows a couple times. I believe I begin to take your meaning.
In the same way that your lost brother has returned.
Yes, he has.
I'm looking to reconnect with my roots. When I first landed here, everything was a mystery, everything was confusing. And I stumbled into the arms of you and Titus, Merrick.
Yes.
But I remember something deep in my bones, something that stays with me like a dream. East, always east, is something that comes back to me every so often. And I believe something is over that water that I need to see to. Does that make sense?
Nilly, you echo my own heart. It will nearly kill me. But I understand. I will live. I always do. She reaches out with both of her hands, so much smaller than yours, to take yours.
And grab them back. I think that the next part of my journey is with this man.
Is it? As your friend, of course, I wish you good fortune, good hunting and battle. As the advisor of House Vaughan here, you should let the others know before you go. It was hard when Katrin left, and it should not be the same way with thee.
You're right. And
you're different.
Yes. And she's like visibly like finding it difficult to say this. I want to say to you, Raisa, I believe you were my first friend I've ever had.
Oh, Nilly. I am going to miss you every day that you are gone. And I will remember all the lessons that you taught me. It wasn't one way, you know.
No.
I am braver now than I ever thought I would be because of your example and the others. But it started with you. And I'll never, never forget that.
Nor I you. And I believe you are just at the beginning of tapping powers that lay dormant in you.
That may be true. I have a question that I know you can't have a certain answer for, but I want to know what your intuition says.
Always.
Do you think Jason will ever come back in my lifetime?
Me in this body does not know, but I can close my eyes and see what I can see. And I am going to close my eyes. I'm going to enter a space of stillness and silence. I'm going to invoke Dread Mother. I'm going to ask her if...
For perhaps the last time on Juramentum soil.
Right. I'm going to ask her if she can, not for me, but for my sword sister, give clarity on what the soul of Jason will do and if he will come back to Terra.
And for the final time on Juramentum soil, make a religion check.
Hopefully better than normal.
It's not the +5.
Yeah, we got it.
Leave the bank. Come on, baby.
17.
Yeah. Not bad.
So when Waysa reaches out this way, sometimes the Dread Mother has reminded her that she is a small thing that tires easily. And she inflicts little cold damage on her.
Mm-hmm.
You, her creation, come back and you realize with certainty that your time of grace with the Dread Mother is almost over. That it is almost time for you to leave even that spiritual nest. You will always be her handiwork, direct, but you are entering a new era of your existence now. And every child must leave the crib and the nest eventually. First the crib, and then the nest, eventually. Juramentum has been your nest. You see 3 distinct possibilities unfolding simultaneously. From the goddess who men call her the Dread Mother, they call her, the goddess of the night, etc. But in that moment, you come to understand she's actually the goddess of the end. In one, Jason does come back, but a long, long time from now. And you see the bakery in ruins and other buildings around it. In another, he doesn't come back at all. It's just darkness with a little flash of Lucida, the bright moon. But in the third, you see Waysa, older, stronger, and it switches to Jason's perspective for a moment as he's giddy, afraid, anxious, determined, knocks on a door, and she opens it. And there, she greets him, beautiful, powerful, in her chosen essence now, Nilly. Even formidable, as her children and her husband also come to greet them. You feel Waysa, her own eyes opening, as she had shared a space with you for a moment. Nilly, I can feel the Dread Mother's presence.
Mm-hmm.
I know you see true. I rescind the question.
I think that was the best.
I love you.
I love you.
Find Titus. find the others. I think I'm going to bed.
And as I watch her turn around and walk away.
Well, she gets up and she comes up. Yeah.
She comes to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna.
You come to her.
Yeah.
You meet halfway.
We do. And I give her a really big bear hug, almost like too tight.
Right.
She gets like really actually uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good thing I'm chosen.
And I kiss her on the side of the cheek.
She kisses you back.
I'm gonna miss you.
Every day. I'll think of you. Every day.
And I let her go.
She looks at Griff and he says, I know. She just nods to him. And then he very deliberately reaches out and takes her hand.
I take his, and as I walk out the doors, I turn one look back at Risa.
And you see her framed. You catch a glimpse of the woman and the advisor that she's fast becoming.
Mm. As I do, one last thing, I send a blessing her way.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Dread Mother to watch over her, even if that's not in her nature, but to make sure that she stays away from the end as long as possible.
Mm. As you said, many years from now. All right. Titus, you make your way out to the west gate. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Corey, were you trying to follow the Lord through this, or did you have other aims this night?
I have other aims. I need to, I'm prepping with Mohi.
Okay.
Things.
All right, cool. And I know where Marcus is. So you go out, and the west gate has a single, lone, resolute Kithki who watches over it, not from the gate itself, but on the slightly higher archery tower that's next to it. And he bows to you as you come back. He does not know yet, Titus, your words. He'll learn soon enough, probably tomorrow after he wakes up, because he's going to be on watch all night. But you see reflected back to him something that you had felt growing inside of yourself. It's not as concrete as chosen quintessence. You don't know, but something, you can feel something coming, something coalescing inside of you. And he laughs a little bit, wriggles down with that weird, graceless, right? The gwaddle, yeah. The graceless yet hyper dexterous movement of the Kithki, which
like a penguin doing a backflip.
Never really makes sense.
Yeah,
but there it is. And he struggles with the gate, but the two of you open it, as there must be two people to open the gate, so you can never be betrayed again, as you were 30 winters hence, as the town was 30 years hence, or prior. Open the gate yourself. It's been a minute. And then come out. You see a collection of people, some interesting people, and they are within spitting distance of Figulus Naeus' hut. They're not quite lounging on it, but they seem to be quite interested in it, drawn like the proverbial moths to flame. Their garb, make a quick history check for me, see if you can place them.
You and your history checks.
That'll be a 5.
Okay.
On point.
Your twin, reading your very slight hesitancy, probably only that she would catch in your body language and the feel of you. She says, from the Emirates initially, brother. Most of them, but not all. Much like Juramentum, they are a concatenation of peoples and histories.
Without land.
Aye, now. From the Throben Valley, though. And someone's ears must be really damn good, because there's a and a dark-skinned, athletic-looking woman who says, "I, the Troupe Valley." And you take the last couple steps. She shifts, Livia shifts her hips very slightly, and you let her down.
Yeah.
She stands. And these people now, there may be a dozen of them. 3 of them step forward, one of them being the woman who just spoke. She is in a full, some version of articulated plate, but the angles of it are wrong to your eyes. There are too many triangles that are going on. It's like an experiment, a geometric experiment, but it would provide decent cover. She looks at you. She has her hair up in a tight bun. Several different weapons at her side, but notably you see twinned scimitar. She's on one side. To the other side. Actually, no. Sorry, it's just the two of them. Just the two of them for now. She's on one side on the left, and then on the right steps forward a dapper-looking man, dressed formally for his people. There's a tall hat that kind of valleys in the center. They're robes, but they don't look anything like beacon robes at all. They're lusher.
Envision kind of like a fez cap, but a little bit more regalia to it.
Well, much taller.
Okay.
And if a top hat and a fez had a love triangle.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you. That's perfect. I was like that or the Trade Federation from episode 1.
And then he has a cream colored robe, and you see that there's gold embroidery along it. So expensive, but still not completely ostentatious. And Livia looks at him and addresses him. Justica Miezan, blessed eve. My lady, I see that you have come after some days and an impressive difficulty. Look at you. You must be in agony. And yet duty compels me to be here, and I would, of course, not shirk it. This is my esteemed brother, Lord Titus Metellus.
Glad you were born. And I would finish it.
Yeah, for her. Okay. He looks at you. Ave, Lord.
Ave. And then his name was Justicar?
Title is Justicar.
Yeah.
His name is Mirza.
Justicar Mirza.
He and the armored woman exchange glances with each other. And you are here to forgive me, my lady. Is he on the same scroll? Events have overtaken us, and we have not had time to parley completely. And you see she's struggling to keep her right eye open, which is bloodshot and was partially burnt. It's been a long day.
I kind of want to look up over to the kid who's manning the gate, because the gate is still open, and just kind of like make an eye to look and have him bring out any type of stool or chair, so she'll be able to kind of take a level of relaxation.
Okay.
And just kind of also as like a little bit of a flex of like, I don't even need to say the word for him to know that, of like, oh shit, this guy.
And forgive me, Justicar, but I believe that for us to go any deeper in our negotiations, I would need the imprimatur of your beloved. Ah, yes. To avoid confusion, Domini, beloved is the title. Whomever is the beloved of our guiding principle, Loyatar, has it. They are her beloved. Does this meet with thy approval? And he turns and is speaking back. A tiny figure in white robes, slightly iridescent, painfully beautiful, hair of Lucida that's been coalesced around their lissom shoulders. Bottomless eyes that look almost immortal, sad and blue and gray, with immense dignity to them.
Ave, Lord Vorn.
Ave.
I am the beloved of Loyatar in this generation. My name is Trisley.
Welcome to Juramentum, Trisley.
I appreciate that. Looks, I have heard tale that you have most unusual peoples here. And yourself are chosen.
We have 3 people here, yes.
3 people. There is only one path to freedom, my lord, and only one true moment of achieving it. But before we go into philosophy and theology, your lady sister, someone has given you a gift. I'm sorry, it escapes me, your meaning. Right. I mean to say, someone has given you a gift of agony, for only in pain is truth. All else is distraction at best. A lie, typically. And yet you're here. You see Justicar. Actually, it was to the right. You see Justicar. They aren't confused here. Their own lady, the one who commands so much love and respect. She came, even through such pain. This bodes well. Very well.
We are for a word.
I see that now. She had said we would meet 4 days hence, but life is life. So, the question is, do you drive as hard of a bargain as your lady sister? She had gotten us to promise real aid, material aid. Forgive me, Domina. Substantial material aid in the war to come. A defensive war, I understand. We are strangers to this land, but I am reasonably well read.
She drives a hard bargain, yes.
Then allow me to show you some of our material aid, yes? And then you can make a decision. You said, Domina, it was all pending your Lord Brother's ratification, and that remains.
Yeah, and I want to look back at Livia and just be like...
She whispers to you, desperate times.
A small little, it's not even really a chest.
Mhm.
It's more like a condensed little trunk
Mhm.
that comes out. And they're all similarly dressed aside from beloved Trisley. And at the gesture, the person opens, and at that same gesture, you see in slight motion a skeletal warrior that had been compressed into the chest. And now you notice that there are many of these chests and sacks, and that behind them there are more. And as if reading your mind, beloved Trisley tells you,
We had thought not to alarm your folk until we knew whom and what you were. So we have many, many more of these to the south. We occupied an abandoned homestead. I hope you don't mind. There was no violence inflicted.
Was it called Bullocks?
No, not that far. But we noticed that some of the farmland on the edges of your domain, but beyond your pomerium, of the city proper had been scorched and flattened.
We have seen our troubles here.
It will make our task easier.
I will need some time for contemplation of what this wager entails.
It's understandable.
What does Juramentum mean to you? From what my sister has promised, or what she has bargained for?
Better said. That second. Juramentum means time, my lord. Time. Make a wisdom check as you try to meet that uncanny gaze for a prolonged period of time.
Saving throw or just check? Either way, it's a minus 1.
Yeah.
10. 11 minus 1.
You start to shirk away. You feel Concord's presence. What was it on the die?
Oh, 11.
11. With her there, that's sufficient. Let me see if... Fascinating. You are everything that your lady sister said. And you have come back with the weapon of legend. I told you, I'm reasonably well read.
Time.
Time. Looks at the woman, looks at the Justicar.
We are in time. The time.
Perhaps.
I know it.
You'll need to. All of us will fight for you. She is formidable. Ashtiani, my Justicar, could more than hold his own. There's another chosen, more along the lines of research and scrolls, but they're quite capable as well. And then myself. Do you know how the Deathhamers of Troupe and Vale ultimately choose their successor, Lord Vorn?
I do not.
At Loyadar's pleasure. And that usually involves Sermon. A duel to the death. He was chosen too. Just not as much.
We all have our gifts.
We do. I see yours. Probably more than you realize yet.
And what of your wants?
I need shelter. I need time. Eventually, we will not make this our permanent home. Eventually, we will be going north. Always north. But not for... They look back over their shoulder, matters to be settled that cannot be attended to properly on the road. Deal in good faith with us, and we will always do the same with thee.
Juramentum, in Old Speak, do you know its name?
Oath.
Would I have yours?
Oaths are powerful things. Things that can only be changed with blood
and
or lives.
Time.
And time. Shall we exchange blood, young lord? Ponder it.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, there was some priestess hereabouts. We had a fascinating conversation about death and time. She was from that adorable city to the west. We almost decided to continue to go west and attempt to make our way to New Caradet on the coast. But I think this is the better way. Justicar, this is the better way. As you say, beloved, time will tell, huh? Time always does.
We are the better way. Allow me some contemplation and discussion. You have your answer in the morning.
Very good. It is our way for leaders in good faith to kiss one another on the cheek on parting. They look at you.
I look back over at Livia.
She nods.
Yeah. I lean in.
Kiss. My lady, my egg is yours. You would want to. Oh, very much so.
And Livia kneels down. She's so much taller than this person. They reach up, take her face with great tenderness. And they lean in, those silken lips just brushing against the ruin of her cheek, and whisper something into her ear. And then let's go.
Pain is love.
And they turn
and leave.
The skeleton goes back in.
Yeah.
They shut it.
I made it to the gate.
You get to the gate.
On the gate?
And you see, as Titus and Livia come back in, you see a glimpse of Starlight disappearing into the blackness of the forest.
This is the gate is closing.
With the retinue. And you see this wild-eyed grip running up to the gate.
Start heading after. But then we'll see you there.
Like, why are you in such a hurry, Grip?
The one in white. She was here. You spoke to her. And then
Vale, Ave, young man.
I'd like to introduce you to my sister.
Oh. Oh my. 1,000 apologies, lady.
None needed. Come in and come with us, Grip. I believe that they're going to be indisposed for the rest of the evening.
They will be back.
You seem eager. I suppose you already make their acquaintance.
Yeah. You could say that. Okay. And they'll fall into step.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm walking with Livia, I'm like, so many discussions. Just, wow, a few weeks. And just kind of like, all right, real nice. You know, like, go ahead, you know, he's obviously like, you know, considerate, but yeah. Rip, I'd like your counsel on something as well. I believe my sister would as well.
Okay.
Deep in conversation with Alba. And we'll need to game through at least some of that, even if it's next session. Yeah. So yes, Ardani is gonna be out of state next session.
Sorry.
And so we discussed it amongst ourselves, and I think we just want to drive forward with the main narrative. So there's going to be some interesting back and forth, but we'll do it. Non-linear narrative is fine. So you're deep in discussion. Nalishli, if you followed as Wace obeyed, the Dread Mother, as the goddess of endings, does give you a final gift this evening. And essentially your feet will take you to anyone that you want to see. Do you seek Marcus out?
First is Marcus.
First is Marcus. Your miracle, as you called him once during a battle.
Sweet.
So you find the small, the unassuming hut that you and Griff had a ridiculous dinner at before, where you just conked out because he had never seen you go to sleep really before. The very beginnings maybe of like true family in Juramentum. And looking back, you realize that evening might have meant more to him than he let on to at the time. And you, for once, though, the family is finding reasons to not be in there, and it's just the two of them.
It's all small side tent for us that they'd set up for us.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. You're right, Randy.
So they're all from the main area.
So you had some modicum of privacy. That's right. Yeah, even though the children are always crawling into the tent. Yeah. Okay.
As they do.
But for once, yeah, you have a little bit of breathing room. And as you rock the pillar of, the one of the two pillars of her world, and she's just trying to navigate her way through it, you actually feel Nalishli's presence, which has never happened before, but you know that she's going to walk up on you a couple seconds before she does.
Squeeze Alba's hand.
Okay.
You have a guest.
All right, Ups. All right.
Just gonna put my hand on her shoulder, just give her some support as much as I can. I know it's a lot to take in.
She leans over and she kisses you on the cheek.
I kiss her back.
And then look toward the tent flap, and you see Nilishli and Griff's silhouettes. Yeah.
Please come in.
Marcus. You can see I brought a guest.
I see that, yeah.
He nods to you.
I might have had some sharp words for you next time I saw you, but I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, reckon so. And likewise. Not about the sharp words.
Come on in. We got a bit of wine, it's kind of watered, but yes.
He shrugs. Sure.
Yes.
It may be a bit.
Yes, Marcus, I know this meeting is not usual of me, and you are deep in reconnecting with your family.
You're always welcome to at the house, at the farm, anywhere that we have.
Thank you. Well, it is about that I have come. I've decided that my direction is going to fork in a new one.
I'll look over Grip for a second.
He nods, looks down at the ground, but he does nod.
Continue, please. Go on.
I, upon return from the island, have decided I shall go east. And I shall make this journey with Griff.
And a few others.
What is the goal? Is it the same goal as you had before?
It is.
Have circumstances changed?
I've changed.
See? Actually, I'm going to actually see.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
You don't want the baby going off with
your diapers, yes.
23. Yeah. With my true sight.
Whispers!
In a year and a half, I get my second whisper.
Wow.
Check out the Darkeport shop.
Go ahead on over to Eldritch Foundry, where I believe that they definitely succeeded their entire colored printing minis available.
Get a phone case with your favorite kind of dragon boy on it.
If you want to smell what it smells like in Juramentum, go over to Briarwood Candles, where you can purchase Justice. And guess what? If you want something like Strahd, don't forget to bring your napkin.
Really hard to get back again.
That is Justice. Berries, fresh water, amber,
injustice. Dude, we're so good at this.
So Marcus looks at Grip.
He looks at you.
I really look at him.
He stares back.
Whatever weight that way it gives me when I'm looking into somebody.
He bows his head briefly, but acknowledges the gravity of the moment.
Nilishli, if this is the path that you must take, I support it. And I will honor it however I can, with the understanding that you always have a home here. Always. Griff, my God. Deeply, you understand that this is probably going to be a one-way trip for you, yes?
I know life.
You have to understand that this is probably going to be a one-way trip for him as well. There may be a positive outcome to this, but there is something. You are a good man.
No, I'm not.
You are a good man. I see you with eyes that are not mortal. I see you with Twaya's truth and justice. I see you, Griff. And you are a good man.
Guards.
Think hard about your path in the future. Because what I see is that it could take you down but it could also take the things you love most down.
I won't let that happen.
Not with your life. With your last breath, you will not. But once that happens, once that last breath is gone, I see what is going on between both of you, and I encourage it. You needed her just as much as she needed you.
More.
Seated. We'll see that point. Just understand that it is a dark path that is coming up. But there will always be light for you here. There will always be a place for you here. When it is time, when you have figured out what you need in life, come back to us. Be with us. We love you tremendously.
See a tear sliding down her cheek.
I'm gonna go over and hug her if she lets me.
And not the awkward pat this time.
No, she lets you, and it's not a standoffish hug. It's a real hug. And I'm gonna whisper in his ear. I don't know what you saw, but just know that I go with my full consent to the east, and not just for Griff.
That is why I'm not trying to stop you. Your path is set. You know where it is leading you. When it is time, use clear eyes to see.
Aye.
Call on me and I will be there for you if I can.
You are a great healer, Marcus.
Toy is a great healer. I'm just an instrument. But thank you for everything that you have given us, for every insight that you have given me, for everything that you have done. Thank you so much.
Aye. She turns away quickly before melting into a puddle of tears.
I'm just gonna hold on to Alba.
You hear Alba whisper, thank you, as well as you leave.
I glance back. Acknowledge.
Be good to her. I know you will, but be good to her.
Plan on it.
And I walk out of the tent. I'm assuming Griff's right behind me.
Yeah.
As I get out of the tent, I do the same thing, by the way. I'm sending a blessing to Marcus as well. Not that he needs it, but
it's there.
Every little bit.
But it's there. And as I get a little way out of the tent, I'm going to turn and look at Griff. What did he see?
My best guess. How damn determined I am. We're screwing with the mid-power, but I'm going in eyes wide open.
Okay. Oh. Then we have one more trip to make.
He looks over at the keep. Yeah, I figured. You think there'll be a fight?
I hope so.
There's my girl. And for the first time, he reaches down and he slaps you on the ass. And the two of you
shocked.
Yeah. And the two of you stride on over to the keep. And sure enough, because this had all been pretty quick and you're moving a lot faster than Titus is, you catch Titus, Livia, and Grip as they're about to come into the keep, but you're in the empty courtyard. Ave! And he actually says Domina. Ave, Domina, Domini. Oh, Griff. Sets down, and now all of you come, and Nalishli, I think this is the first time that you have close up seen Livia. So you're seeing what happened to that regal form.
Is she looking at me, or is she like not connecting really?
She seems to have that insane steel inside of her seems to have reasserted itself. And when when Titus gently puts her down, even though she has to be in withering pain right now, her spine is straight, her carriage erect, and she looks at you with her one good eye.
I slowly walk up. Titus?
Nalishli.
Livia.
Blessed Eve.
How are you faring?
She looks at Griff. He looks away. Better than I would have been at either the bottom of the Kogi or as a prisoner, largely because of this man. And he just shakes his head.
I am forever in your debt, Griff.
You don't owe me shit. I was stupid and slow. I should have murked that son of a bitch the second that he looked at her crossways. And Livia just shakes her head. It was my decision at the end of the day, and I take full responsibility for that and the outcome. And if this is life now, then I will simply have to learn how to navigate it. And
You're strong.
And now Griff is the one who's struggling. And he kind of looks away, and you can see him, the jaw tight, and him swallowing and breathing.
I put my hand on his back.
Nice reversal. He subtle, but he leans back into your hand slightly. What choice do we have, Nalishli? We are the last, my brother and I. We are the last of the line. We are the end of the dream, or the birth of a new era. We must be strong, or all of this, the diaspora from Fang Prime, the generations of suffering and valor, all of them will be for naught.
It will not be.
That is beyond bearing.
It will not be.
You've been tasked with great responsibility and great burden. But I know there's a reason I was brought to Earth, here, in this place. And it's the great power, history, and legacy that is yet to come under your guidance and rule.
Are you leaving?
Titus, I do come, and I beg private counsel.
Griff, can I ask you one more favor? Please escort Lady Livia inside.
Done.
Yeah.
And
Griff, the last favor, Grip to help, yeah.
And Griffin puts his arm out. She takes his arm, and you can see now what it's costing her to be functional for this long. And she actually kind of starts to stumble and fall apart, and he helps her, and they get her inside.
Shall we walk?
Yes. I know the perfect place.
Good. And as we walk, your sister, she's brave.
Stronger than us.
Aye. Will she recover?
If anyone can, it's her. So Griff.
Yes, he's come back.
I remember having this conversation on a ship. And I just was happy to know that you left.
Yes, when we returned from the island, which I never want to think about again.
Me neither.
I realized that my life felt not empty, but like something was missing without him here.
Not whole.
Not whole. Yes, I have Wesa, and I have the friends that I've made here, but still, I feel the need to cross that river and go east. And Griff came back, and he's asked me to come east with him.
It's your story. And I can't wait to hear it.
I'm imagining that we make it enough time that we are in Aurelia's field.
Yeah.
I know I've asked you this before, but do you remember the day you were born?
I have been thinking about it a lot.
My grandfather wanted to kill you. And I took a blade to my neck and wagered my life for yours.
And it was the best wager I've ever made.
Another tear starts rolling down her face. I will never forget it.
I will never forget you.
And now we're at the field where I was born.
And their hearts beat in your chest.
There was something that was asked of me, which is to find a home for Aurelia, the spirit who comes here. And while I don't know if I have time to do that, I wonder if you know of someone who can. If it's not me.
Come. And I'll walk him over to where I'm like, this is where I buried them. It's where you came. Aurelia is in you. Her spirit and her love are you. No matter what, I will always look after this field. And I will always look after Wesa.
She gives him a big hug.
And I hug back, obviously.
What will you do to protect the city while I'm gone?
Make another wager. Yours was the best.
I'm gonna sit down on the spot and it's gonna be weird, but I'm actually gonna press like my cheek to the earth. And
You can feel her.
I can feel her.
Titus wasn't wrong.
Okay. I'm going to, again, close my eyes and ask the spirit that I can feel if there's anything she needs to find rest.
East. Always east. Take me.
And you feel another presence inside of you, bound down to a very little corner of you, waiting.
Do I feel different?
Like you have another friend now.
Two friends.
One that you need to unpack.
What did she say?
I sit up with a jolt. She said the words that have been in my mind. East, always east.
When I take off, like the griffin sigil, anything I have of that, and like putting it in her hand, battling it up, and be like, then it's your story and hers. I will miss you.
I will miss you. Domino.
Titus. Nilly. Come home.
Aye.
I can imagine you and Griff on that porch.
I can't.
There's no way.
Yeah. No, I know. But
I stand up. Walk back.
Aye.
And friends, I don't think we're going to have a better spot to pause that particular tale. So normally, well done. So normally this is where we would sign off, but I wanted to carve out just a few minutes for Allie, as you may have gathered watching this. This is where Allie is pausing her tale as far as Nalishli goes.
I didn't know until today.
So Allie, how has it been?
It's been amazing. I'm pregnant with my second baby, and I'm so uncomfortable in this chair, and I'm still here.
Name's gonna be Titus.
Pain is love. Pain is love.
Pain is love, and you're driving. See, and you're driving an hour and a half. Yeah, so this was this was hard fought. This was hard, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So,
And, probably we would have never hung out, like, outside of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I wouldn't have run into you guys,
Yeah.
And now I'm here, and we've been doing this, like, I think, like, a year and a half.
Almost,
yeah.
Like, a year and a half of committing to, like, pretty much every Tuesday, which I haven't done that since I played soccer in, like, high school.
It feels like that.
And, like, driving and then doing 3 hours of someone else's, like, telling a story from another place in another world every Tuesday has been crazy and such a plot twist and so fun. And you don't know how many, like, parallel dimension concepts and theories I've Yeah.
What have we created here?
Yeah. I truly think, like, there's, like, even when I was playing with my dowsing rods, I asked, when you play D&D, is this, like, a real world that exists somewhere else? And it said yes.
East always east.
East always east. It, like, yelled at me. But
my God.
I now, like, now that I'm here for a year and a half and, we're, like, wrapping all this up and I'm going with Griff, across east. It's, like...
So perfect.
What a crazy bubble in time where we got to create another life and world and universe and disobey all of the conventions of reality and just drop in for 3 hours.
No, it's
and
true.
Still make your husband jealous.
I know. Great for my marriage.
What was it that?
What'd you call me Griff for, honey?
What was it that kept you coming back through all the adversity? Because you're probably the busiest person at this table, which is saying something.
What kept me coming back? I think it was that, like, in life gets so lifey, especially now. Like, since 2020, things just get more lifey every day, and things start seeming really intense, and, like, we're on this, like, hamster wheel of never getting off and always having to work to pay rent and eat food and live our life until the day we die. And this is, like, a fork in the road from that. And there is no functionality. We're not being productive here.
Right.
We're not making money. We're not being productive. We're not doing work. We're doing something purely for joy. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't happen in adulthood very much anymore.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. 100%.
That's why I kept coming back.
Well, we've loved you here, like, every day.
We've loved you here.
Yes.
And
awesome energy.
Allie asked me specifically, she did not want Nalishla to get killed off in some cheesy way or something, So maybe once you have the baby and you have a chance to know your baby and settle your life and all these things, perhaps, who knows?
A few years, we're still here.
She may come back. She may come back.
Angel's Infamous for his 10-year campaign.
You come back to Juramentum and they're like, what do you mean they're back on the island? Fuck it, I'm leaving.
I quit again.
Oh, Griff, you have another brother?
So this is why Tatiana was trying so hard to mend herself to be here, but I hope I did her justice and in that moment, all right, friends, so that's the tale.
Oh, and thank you everyone for watching. Like, I don't know who you are, but some of you have sent me blessed dice. Some of you have sent me, like, dice boxes.
I mean, seriously.
And, like, those of you who voted me for MVP, I mean, you're the real winners. It didn't happen enough, but we love it. And, like, just continue to watch because they're going to be fire for, like, all of the everything coming up. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ellie.
So much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been so...
All right.
That's
it. Faraway friends, thank you so much for being with us on this journey. As you go about your day out there, stay safe, stay curious, and we'll see you next time. Vale.
Bye, guys.
Oh, man.